camera, I'll do it again. Shut the door, Trav. This is James Holder for Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. With me, I've got Tommy Coyle on his return. Congratulations on the win, Tommy, mate.
Thanks, mate. It feels wicked.
You missed being in the ring or what?
Yeah, I have, to be fair, and you know, it was just good to get in there tonight and get 6 rounds, be in there with no head guard on, little gloves again, with an atmosphere, and come out of there victorious.
What sort of pressure was you under coming into? It's not been in the ring for a little while. Did you feel that sort of need to deliver tonight?
Listen, let's have it right. You know, I'm realistic. I wasn't in there with no world champion. I was expected to win, probably, you know, expected to knock him out, and I felt I could have done that if I wanted to. But tonight was never about going in there and knocking somebody out. For my development and for me to reach where I, you know, potentially could get to, I have to start boxing like a more experienced fighter. I have to start, you know, learning to go through the gears rather than going in there. You know, I could have boxed 25 rounds at that pace tonight. I felt like I was in rewind, but that's what I have to do, and that's what the elite fighters do. And you know, I'm on the title chase now, so I've got to start listening to my coaches. Tonight was about going in there, getting a full 6 rounds, warming into it, not starting too fast, and just being comfortable with, you know, not having to pick myself up off the canvas 12 times.
You've headlined the biggest show in Hull for a long time, co-featured, co-headlined, whatever way you want to word it, you and Luke Campbell. Can you have bigger moments than that in your career? Do you chasing bigger moments than that, Tommy?
I hope so, yeah. You know, I want to look back when I'm done and just have a badass scrapbook. Just a load of good pictures, you know, a load of great memories. You know, I just said there in an interview, boxing's a hobby for me. It's not a business. I've got, you know, fruit and veg business back home, you know, good business. Boxing's a hobby for me, so I try and enjoy it. You know, that was an incredible night with Luke, but you know, I've got a lot of regrets about that night, to be honest.
Like what?
Well, I sometimes don't give myself enough credit. The timeouts allowed me to assess myself. And you know, I sometimes forget I won 2 ABA titles. I boxed for England, and I sometimes go in there in the ring, and you know, I put it all on the line from day dot, and use my warrior-like mentality, if you say, and show my courageousness as a plan A, when really I should be using it as a plan B or C, or maybe even D if the skills don't work out first. Because you know, I've got good boxing skills. I find, like, even now I find it hard saying that. I just sometimes struggle with confidence as well, you know, but I put Luke Campbell on a pedestal that night. You know, I didn't box Luke Campbell, I boxed the occasion. I know that, and I'm not just, this isn't an excuse, by the way, because Luke Campbell is an exceptional fighter. He beat me fair and square, he beat me hands down. He was better than me that night, so there's no excuse here. This is just a self-assessment, and I should have been going into that fight boxing a man in front of me, because at the end of the day, he's only got 2 arms and legs, and so have I. You know, he's not made of steel, or he's not got superpowers, and I thought he was unbeatable. But Mendes proved that theory wrong when you know, when he got beat against Mendes. Was
there a bit of you thinking, oh, I wish I would have took this differently and gone about my work differently?
But I felt like I'd won before I even got in the ring, because you know, for me, 3 years ago, and I've said it before, I was grafting on my old man on the fruit and veg store, you know, just pinching scrap metal and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. But I didn't expect to come as far as I did. It was always about getting in that fight with Luke Campbell, meeting Michael Buffer, you know what I mean? That was like, wow, it was on my bucket list. You know, having him introduced into the ring, fighting a stadium outside, 15,000, all that. So I just kind of enjoyed the moment, and you know, maybe should have been a bit more business-like. And you know, I think I know I could have beat him, and that's a bold statement, and it's a bit out of line, because you know, he beat me fair and square that night. But the way I was performing in the build-up to that fight, you ask Nigel and Jamie, you know, we was bringing in 3 sparring partners, top GB boys, and you know, I'm not going to say no names out of respect, but I was putting holes in people, and I just kind of, yeah, a lot of regrets, but it's gone, and you never lose, you only learn. And I learned a lot from it, and I believe he's going to take me to that next step.
You seem like you've matured as a man as well, looking back on life. So listening to you speak now, Tommy.
For sure, 100%. you know, it hurt my pride bad. Like, everybody thinks Tommy Coyle's, you know, this dead confident kid, and, you know, he dresses in these crazy stupid clothes, and, you know, but I struggle me on a night with my confidence and all the rest of it. But these last 9 months, I've done a real lot of work up here, and I feel good. People are going to see a different Tommy Coyle, and I'm on the title chase.
What's next? How do you implement that? What will you and the team do? What can we see you out next?
We boxed at 10 stone tonight, but that was because we didn't know we was boxing up until 2 weeks ago. Once that kid, I hit him with some good shots, and he didn't budge. Tough, strong kid, to credit to him. I can still make 9 stone 9, you know, if the fights are there, but didn't feel out of place at 10 stone tonight. You know, it felt quite good. It was very easy to make the weight, you know, rather than it being a job to make the weight. You know, you can, rather than focusing on weight and training, you can focus on skills and stuff what's going to be relevant. So, yeah, 10 stone's a possibility. Ricky Burns fighting for the world title in 3 weeks. If he wins, you know, Eddie might chuck me in against him, which is a fight I would love. Imagine me and Ricky Burns in a minute. But likes of Scotty Cardell, love to box him. You know, it's all right moving and grooving, but you got to land punches. You know, it's not a dancing competition. Sean Mashadod, I love that kid. I'd like to have a drink with him one night. He looks crackers. Big fan of his. I'd love that fight. I think that'd be a mint little tear up. There's tons of good fights out there. Just throw me to the wolves if you like. You know, just give me big fights. Give me a stage. Where is Bull can rage? That's the raging bull. Give me a stage and a boxing ring, and I'll fight. I'll turn up and entertain.
Got to say, we've had your dad on the channel a couple of times. He's been a bit of a cult figure when we've had him on IFL. The stuff that Coogan's done with him as well, he's come across fantastic.
He was a liberty that night, because like, he was winding Coogan up, and Coogan had to ring me and said, you know, your dad took it a bit too far there. My missus is probably watching this. And like, you know, my dad was just making random stuff up, but poor Coogan.
I watched some of your stuff and some of the tricks and pranks you play on your dad. How has he not absolutely killed you? Because he is always teetering, you know what, on the brink of explosion, isn't he? He's never far away from danger.
My dad's my best pal in the world, and I love him to death. If I was going to war, he'd be the soldier of one next to me, because his mentality, I think I get my mentality from him, but he's a crank. Let me tell you, that man is an absolute crank. Like, seriously, the other day at the gym when he was asleep in the van, like, he loves the kip, my dad. Oh, loves the kip. Makes out he's a grafter and he does all these hours. Absolutely loves the kip. And he'll kip anyway, he can sleep on a washing line. So he's asleep in his van in the car park at the gym. So I said, boys, come on, let's go and scare him. So he unlocked his van door, so I opened the van door, his head fell out of the van, and I just jumped on him, scared him, and he's come on, and he wanted to punch Nigel in the head. And then he realised who it was, and he was like, bastards, you know I've had a fucking heart attack. You know, get on this, right? So he had the heart attack, right? And he's one of them, like, he wants you to feel sorry for him and all that. So let me tell you, all right, he had a big heart attack and another heart attack, but he's come home and he says, they've had to do me a triple heart bypass. So I went, what? He went, yeah. And this is gospel, isn't it? He said to me, yeah, he said, I'm all stapled up. I went, what? He went, don't touch me. He said, I'm really sore. He said, seriously? He said, they've had to staple me up. He says, because they've told me, he says, if I get palpitations, he said, I've got to just open my skin, put my hand in and just massage my heart like this. But he's telling his old woman, right, who's about 75 years age on the fruit stall, she just had this done, and she'd had a triple heart bypass. He says, well, they didn't do that to me, Chris. He's like, oh, they did it to me, man was the big and love. He's just crackers, but he's good fun, and like I say, if he was going to war, you'd want him on your side, because he would die for you every day of the week.
I showed my dad, I got a good relationship with my dad and always like my best pal. I showed my dad the video when you burned him with a spoon. Me and my dad cracked up for about half hour. Yeah. He was like, oh mate, this fella's
don't get me wrong,
snap
me and my dad, when we was 15, 16, we was like loggerheads, because we used to work together. Yeah. Loggerheads, but I decided when I was about 19 I was going to come away from the working within the family business. I moved on to the wholesale side, and we get on like best mates. He must ring me 20 times a day.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Like, we have got such a close bond, and I just want to make him proud. You know what I mean? My dad would love me to go and win a world title. It's Boxing. I'm just happy.
Listen, congratulations on
Thanks,
the win.
mate.
Like I said, I
And
think you've really
I know I won't
matured
boxing
since
no world champion there. I'm just happy to be back.
hopefully, opportunity knocks, mate, and you get a couple of big fights.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Get
so.
back in the groove now, and
Eddie gives me some big fights. That'd be nice.
yeah, maybe 1 or 2 more fights and then something big.
Nah, throw me now.
For straight, you want to go straight in?
Yeah. I perform better when it's a big fight. You know, because you've got to perform better, haven't you? I can have spars like that in the gym. Do you know what I mean? So do that in the gym and get me on that big stage again.
All right, listen.
Thanks for your interview. Sorry about your battery on you.
That's all right.
About 20 minutes.
Thanks for giving me some insight into the world of Tommy Coyle.
Thanks, mate.
Top man. Thanks, pal.